A team of 5 sets out to pull off a heist at a notorious thief's residence. While it might sound shocking, there's a mysterious reason behind it. But breaking into the thief's home is no small feat. They end up coming up with clever strategies that will genuinely surprise you. This is the story of Tower Heist, 2011. The movie opens with a close-up of a $100 bill, which then zooms out to reveal an extravagant, high-end swimming pool design. We're introduced to Josh Kovacs, the manager of the towering building, a serious professional who treats his staff like friends. The tower houses some of the wealthiest and most powerful people, so Josh is responsible for keeping everything perfect. On his way to work, he encounters a neighbor who constantly bombards him with silly jokes, which Josh politely ignores. Once at the tower, he meets with his team to go over the day's schedule. The building's longtime gatekeeper, who's been with Josh for years, mentions he's retiring soon and plans to travel the country with his wife. Meanwhile, Josh also meets a new employee, Shannon, who has just joined as a lift operator. Josh warns her that this job is far from easy. The tower Josh manages is the most luxurious in the city. One day, he's talking with Mr. Fitzhugh, who lives in the penthouse and happens to be a close friend. Josh had entrusted all the staff's pension money to him, and Mr. Fitzhugh had promised to invest it wisely and double it in a few years. Trusting his friend completely, Josh handed over the life savings of his employees. But one morning, black SUVs pull up to the tower, and armed men storm inside. Watching the CCTV footage, Josh sees some men grabbing Mr. Fitzhugh, and fearing for his friend's life, he rushes to the back gate to intervene. There, he's suddenly shoved to the ground by an FBI agent. At that exact moment, he sees Mr. Fitzhugh's car being overturned. Outraged, Josh demands to know why they're treating his friend this way. The agent then reveals the shocking truth. Mr. Fitzhugh isn't the honorable man Josh believed him to be. He's orchestrated a massive $2 billion fraud and was planning to flee the country. Hearing this, Josh feels like the world has collapsed around him. The person he trusted most has betrayed everyone. Soon, news of the fraud spreads throughout the tower and makes national headlines. The staff, shocked and worried, confront Josh about what happened to their pension money. Feeling guilty, Josh admits that he had trusted Mr. Fitzhugh with the funds, which were then lost in a Ponzi scheme. The revelation leaves everyone in complete shock, especially the longtime gatekeeper who had been planning to retire soon. He breaks down in tears, having lost his entire life savings. A few days later, it's revealed that Mr. Fitzhugh has been caught, but the court orders him to remain under house arrest in his penthouse, monitored by the FBI, unable to leave without permission. Meanwhile, Josh visits the penthouse and sees Mr. Fitzhugh living as luxuriously as ever, tending to his prized red Ferrari as if nothing had happened. Back at the tower, the elderly gatekeeper's despair worsens. Josh later learns he even attempted suicide by jumping onto the train tracks, but fortunately survived and was hospitalized in serious condition. Visiting him, Josh discovers that the gatekeeper hadn't just lost his pension. He had handed over his entire life savings to Mr. Fitzhugh. Fueled by greed, Mr. Fitzhugh had promised the gatekeeper that his money would double in just a few days. Furious, Josh realizes that Fitzhugh isn't just a cheat, he's heartless. Confronting him, Josh is met with cold indifference. Investment comes with risks, and Fitzhugh refuses to take responsibility for anyone's life or death. Enraged by such arrogance, Josh loses control, smashing everything in the room and shattering the glass of Fitzhugh's prized car with a single swing of a wooden stick. In that moment, he quits his job as the tower's manager, left completely unemployed, but his mind is set on one thing: recovering the stolen money at any cost. One day, while brooding at a bar, Josh runs into the FBI agent. They strike up a friendly conversation, and the agent reveals a secret. Although most of Fitzhugh's funds have been recovered, $20 million is still missing, hidden somewhere in his penthouse. Determined, Josh devises a plan to find the hidden cash himself and return it to all the victims. Realizing he can't do it alone, he begins assembling a team. Josh's team now included his brother-in-law Charlie, the building's caretaker, Shannon, the lift operator, and a wealthy resident whose money had been stolen by Mr. Fitzhugh. Josh explains to them that if the FBI finds the missing $20 million, it will go straight into government funds, leaving the victims with nothing. Their only option is to retrieve it themselves, but there's a problem. None of them actually know how to steal. Josh realizes they need a professional thief, and he immediately thinks of his neighbor, Slide, who had been arrested by the police a few days earlier. Josh bails him out and explains the entire plan. At first, Slide is skeptical. Looking at Josh's naive, ordinary team, he doubts they have the guts for even a minor heist. But eventually, under Josh's leadership, Slide agrees to train them, preparing the team for the complex heist ahead. Slide takes the team to a shopping mall for a practice heist, instructing them to steal whatever they can. Hilariously, the new lift operator Shannon sneaks away with a shoelace, while Charlie timidly grabs a jacket. Slide isn't impressed by their small-time antics, but he recognizes their determination. They're willing to risk everything to recover what was stolen. He begins training them in how to bypass the tower's security systems and evade CCTV surveillance. Meanwhile, Josh realizes that breaking into the building won't be enough. They also need to locate the hidden $20 million, likely stashed in a locker. For that, they need an expert. Enter Odessa, a staff member whose father was a master locksmith, making her the perfect person to open the safe without a key. With Odessa joining the team, Josh finally has his crew ready, waiting only for the perfect moment. That moment comes on Thanksgiving Day, when New York City hosts a massive parade. The police focus on the streets. Most of the tower's staff are off for the holiday, and Josh knows it's the perfect cover. Before the heist begins, he gathers the team for one final briefing. During the final briefing, Josh assigns Slide to lead the mission, trusting him as the team's only true expert. Odessa is instructed to have all her tools ready to crack the penthouse locker, while Shannon monitors the building's elevators and CCTV. Just before the heist begins, Josh learns that his brother-in-law Charlie has regained his old job in the tower and is hesitant to take the risk, worried about his pregnant wife. Josh convinces him that justice must be served for Fitzhugh's crimes, and reluctantly, Charlie joins the mission. As the team sneaks into the tower, thousands of people are outside celebrating the Thanksgiving parade, providing perfect cover. Shannon cleverly disables the CCTV cameras, while Fitzhugh is conveniently absent from the penthouse. Josh had anticipated this and sent him to court. The team quickly reaches Fitzhugh's penthouse, breaks through a wall, and locates the hidden locker. Odessa works her magic, attempting to unlock it, and tension builds. Any mistake could land them in jail for life. Finally, with a satisfying click, the locker opens, but their excitement turns to shock. The locker is completely empty. Slide and the others stare at Josh, stunned and frustrated, realizing their target has vanished. The team initially thinks Josh is joking or misleading them, and Slide, furious, raises his gun and berates him. Amid their shouting and chaos, Josh's eye catches a scratch on Fitzhugh's prized red Ferrari. On closer inspection, he notices something glittering beneath the paint. A shocking realization hits. Fitzhugh hadn't hidden the stolen $20 million in a locker at all. Instead, he had used it to craft an entire car out of solid gold, displayed in plain sight. The team is stunned. The car isn't just valuable, it's worth far more than the money they were owed. Once they confirm it's made entirely of gold, fear sets in. Moving such a massive, precious vehicle without getting caught seems nearly impossible. Tenet estimates its value at $45 million, not $20 million, and while Slide suggests disassembling the car, Josh insists there's no time for that. They must get the entire car out intact. The biggest challenge now is lowering it from the penthouse, but Josh spots a mechanical lift used for cleaning the exterior windows and starts plotting how to use it for their daring escape. Josh decides to use the mechanical lift trolley to lower the gold Ferrari from the penthouse. They carefully dismantle parts of the penthouse to maneuver the car, then secure it with strong steel cables attached to the lift. Slide and Josh push the suspended car out of the penthouse, aiming to swing it toward the balcony of a lower-floor apartment where Charlie is waiting. As the car sways in the wind, the tower's security guards and FBI agents become alert and start heading toward the penthouse. Realizing they have barely a minute to act, Josh and Slide crawl beneath the dangling car, guiding it toward the balcony. Charlie, already in position, helps Josh steer the car safely into the apartment. The operation is risky and physically demanding, but they manage to secure the Ferrari inside. When the FBI finally arrives at Fitzhugh's penthouse, they find it completely empty, with the locker open and no sign of the gold car. Josh warns his team that they can't keep it there long, as the FBI could search the apartment at any moment. Their next challenge is to lower the car all the way to the ground and get it out of the tower. Though Charlie is initially terrified of handling such a massive, priceless vehicle, hearing the car's incredible value, Charlie overcomes his fear and agrees to help Josh. Getting the gold Ferrari out of the building proves to be a massive challenge. Charlie points out that the car won't fit inside the elevator, but Josh had already planned for that. Instead of putting it inside, they will place it on top of the elevator. Following the plan, they carefully maneuver the car to the elevator's roof, and while doing so, Josh discovers a secret diary inside the Ferrari, containing detailed records of all of Fitzhugh's illegal transactions and fraud. Realizing this diary is enough to put Fitzhugh behind bars, Josh tucks it safely into his pocket. The team then painstakingly lifts the car onto the elevator roof. Shannon, the lift operator, manually begins lowering it from the control room. At that precise moment, Fitzhugh and an FBI agent enter the elevator heading toward the penthouse, completely unaware that Josh and his team are quietly perched on top of it with the $45 million gold Ferrari. The weight causes the elevator to shake slightly, leaving Fitzhugh confused but oblivious. As the lift reaches the ground floor, Josh calls his longtime friend, the elderly gatekeeper, who has just been discharged from the hospital, instructing him to bring a large truck to the front of the tower to receive the priceless car. The gatekeeper, following Josh's instructions without question, drives a large truck to the front of the tower. Meanwhile, when the FBI agents arrive at the penthouse and find the gold Ferrari missing, they order a full search of the building, sending Fitzhugh into a panic over his stolen car. Reviewing CCTV footage, the agents spot a truck speeding away from the tower and immediately assume the Ferrari is inside, prompting a police chase. But Josh had anticipated this. He knew the police would follow the truck, and that was exactly part of his plan. When the truck is stopped mid-route, the officers find it completely empty. The gatekeeper admits he was just driving aimlessly, contemplating suicide, which buys Josh and his team enough time to safely relocate the car to a secure location. Meanwhile, realizing they've been duped, the police are left frustrated. Back at the tower, the FBI agents return and painstakingly review the CCTV footage, where they spot Josh, Charlie, Odessa, and the rest of the team sneaking back into the building, prompting the authorities to finally move in and arrest them. Surprisingly, Slide manages to evade capture entirely. His cleverness allows him to slip through the main gate in plain sight, leaving the police with no solid evidence against him. Meanwhile, Josh, Charlie, and the rest of the team, along with Mr. Fitzhugh, are taken to the police station in a large truck. Fitzhugh, seeing Josh and the others helpless, smirks devilishly, boasting that they thought they could steal his priceless Ferrari, but the FBI will recover it soon, and they'll spend the rest of their lives in jail. Confident he can outsmart the law again and reclaim his gold car, Fitzhugh is stunned when Josh pulls the secret diary from his pocket. Josh warns him, "Don't worry about us, worry about yourself. This diary contains all the proof of your crimes. If I hand it to the police, your game is over." The moment Fitzhugh sees it, his arrogant smile disappears, replaced by sheer panic. Josh has found his weakest point. Terrified, he makes a deal, offering $400 million, hundreds of times the value of the gold Ferrari, if they return the diary. Charlie and the others are momentarily speechless at the staggering sum, but Josh doesn't hesitate. He immediately refuses, reminding them that there's a rule to this game that must be followed. No one takes shortcuts. Josh is willing to risk everything to expose Fitzhugh publicly. At the police station, a young woman whom Josh had once mentored in school arrives. Now a sharp professional lawyer, she's come to fight on behalf of Josh and his team. Josh hands her Fitzhugh's secret diary and instructs her to secure everyone's freedom. She meets with the FBI agents, explaining that the diary contains irrefutable evidence capable of keeping Fitzhugh behind bars for life. Josh then makes a deal in front of the agents. He'll hand over the diary, but all charges against his friends, Charlie, Odessa, Shannon, and the others, must be dropped. He takes full responsibility for the heist himself, knowing that if he shoulders all the blame, the rest of his team will be free. The FBI, initially skeptical, quickly grasps the diary's importance and agrees. Charlie, Odessa, Shannon, and Tank are released immediately with no further action, while Josh is sentenced to 2 years in prison. Meanwhile, Fitzhugh receives a lengthy sentence for his massive fraud. Once Josh is free, he reunites with Charlie and the team, and together they return triumphantly to the top floors of the tower. Josh had already told the team where the real car had been hidden all this time. They head to the tower's swimming pool, the very same one shown at the start of the story, and lift the cover to reveal the $45 million gold Ferrari submerged beneath the water. Josh had cleverly kept it hidden underwater for months, ensuring that neither the police nor the FBI could ever trace it. Now, with the massive treasure in their hands, the team had a way to restore all the lost pension money. But selling a solid gold car intact would be far too risky, as authorities could easily catch them. So they devise a plan. Every part of the Ferrari, from the wheel rims to the tiniest engine components, is dismantled and accounted for, all made entirely of pure gold. They then create a list of all the tower staff whose pension funds Fitzhugh had swindled, and one by one, each receives a gold parcel as restitution. The elderly gatekeeper, who had once nearly ended his life in despair over lost savings, opens his package to find a solid gold purse, enough to recover all his life savings. The same is done for everyone else, from cleaners to security guards, ensuring that every victim gets their due, piece by piece, in gleaming gold. Odessa, Shannon, and Tank also receive their share of the gold. finally securing their financial futures. No one in the team remains poor or helpless. Their struggles are over. Even the clever thief Slide is given his rightful portion. Meanwhile, Charlie's home welcomes new guests, and he begins a joyful life with his family. With everyone's fortunes restored and happiness restored, the story of Tower Heist concludes on this uplifting, satisfying note. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one. Until then, take care.